My name is Heather, and my husband and I have started this ministry called Glory Baby Ministry. I decided to make these videos to tell the stories of our losses. Together, we've had 4 losses. In total, I have had 5 losses. This first story that I will be telling is Raylynne's life, and this is the story of what happened before I lost her, what happened when I lost her, and what happened after I lost her. In 2011, I was 17 years old whenever I got pregnant for the first time. At the time, I was with somebody else, not with the man that I'm married to today. I actually was with him from December till April whenever we got engaged. We got engaged on Easter in that year, April 2011. The next month in May, I found out that I was pregnant with our daughter. I didn't know that she was a girl yet. Of course, whenever you first find out you're pregnant, you don't know those things. And so after I found out that I was pregnant, it was a terrifying moment for me. I was 17. I was raised in a Christian household. I was raised, you don't do stuff like that. You don't get pregnant before you're married. I mean, it's just not the right thing. It's wrong. And so it was really hard for me. Whenever I first found out, I was scared. I was scared to tell my mom, and so I told my aunt that I thought I was pregnant. I was pretty sure. She came to where I was staying at the time and brought me a pregnancy test, and I took the pregnancy test, and then she ended up, telling me, like, I need to talk to my mom. I had a breakdown. I was scared, and I called my mom, told her, hey, I need you to come and talk to me. She came to where I was staying, and I ended up going and sitting in the car with her. I gave her the pregnancy test, and she looked at me, and I just said yes. And so I could tell by the look on her face, was disappointed. She was hurt. And what mother wouldn't be, whenever their teenage daughter gets pregnant with a guy that they haven't been with for that long. And of course, it's a terrifying moment for the mom. So what ended up happening was she, ended up having time to pray about it and think it over. And she wrote a letter to me and my fiance at the time and basically told us that that's her grandchild no matter what. And she loves the baby, and she is disappointed and upset with how we did things, but she's going to be there for the baby. July of 2011. I was about 13 weeks pregnant, a little bit over 13 weeks, maybe 13 weeks, 2 days, 3 days. And I went to my doctor's appointment, and they did an ultrasound. The doctor said that he was 90% sure that the baby was a girl. So at that moment, we were trying to decide on a name, and my fiance at the time wanted Rachel, which I wasn't a big fan of the name, but I loved the Lynn sound, so I said, let's compromise. Let's call her Raylynne. And he was like, okay. So then we came up with the middle name, which was Dovey, which was my friend's name, and she had accidentally killed herself whenever I was younger, and Nell, which was my grandmother's middle name, and so we called her Raylynne Dovey Nell. So, a week later, I was 14 weeks and a few days, I thought I was having gas cramps. Went to go to sleep, and I wouldn't stop hurting. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I didn't really know. I didn't understand. I just thought it was gas. So I tried doing what my mom had taught me as a kid, which was getting on all fours and sticking my butt up in the air, and the gas would just flow through, and nothing was happening. So I didn't know. I decided, well, maybe, it's something I ate. I'm just going to go to sleep. Ended up going to sleep. I woke up the next morning around 8 or 9 a.m. The cramps were even more intense. I realized at that moment something might be wrong. So I went to the bathroom and wiped, and there was some blood. I called my mom, told her, I think something's wrong with the baby. I need your help. She came to the house, and as soon as she walked in, my water broke. This is the part of the story where I might get kind of emotional on video. Just fair warning. Yeah, so it was hard. My mom got there, and my water broke, I have been laying on the couch. I got up and I went to the bathroom, and as soon as I got to the bathroom, I pulled my pants down. And she fell like down my pant leg whenever I was pulling it down and was on the floor. And I wasn't positive at first that it was her. I had never seen a baby at 14 weeks. I didn't know what they looked like. To me, it looked kind of like a mask with, you know, eyes and little hands and little bitty feet, and but you know, the toes and fingers were barely there. I didn't know if I was seeing things or what exactly she was. So I just wrapped her in toilet paper because I didn't know, and I ended up going to the hospital, and they confirmed I had a miscarriage, and that was really hard. I was 17. It was my first pregnancy. I never thought something like that would happen to me. I was so excited to be a mom. I really never thought that I would be where I am today, telling everybody these stories of all 5 of my losses. This is just the first. Telling everybody what happened, you know, before them, during them, after them. It's been a hard life. But by the grace of God, I'm here. And I'll tell you, there's parts of this story that are going to get intense as it goes, because there are parts where I almost gave up, and I pretty much had given up on life. And because of God, I did it. And I'm still here, and I'm able to tell people these stories and hopefully help them through their losses. So, try not to be emotional. Basically what happened after I lost her was my fiance and I started fighting a lot. It got really tense between us. It was really hard. I had a lot of depression issues. He started cheating on me. I didn't find that out until after we split. About 3 weeks after I lost her, we split. We separated. I went back to live with my mom, and, you know, he did his thing. We kept in contact. I didn't know he had a girlfriend, and I was still seeing him, and then found out he had a girlfriend, so I stopped seeing him. And then a few months later, I met who is now my husband today. So when my husband and I met, I was not in a good place, and he was not in a good place, and we kind of helped each other through our different things that we were going through emotion-wise. Different things. I was going through a loss. He was going through getting, you know, having a bad relationship with his family, and he was kind of like on the fence with them and going back and forth, and it's been like that his whole life apparently, and it's just been hard for him. He was adopted, and he's had his own struggle of life, like, before we even met, and it just, you know, it kind of was like we built each other up. We met. We both had been Christians in the past, and we decided that we wanted to try again to go to church together to work on our faith. And so we did. We went to different churches and tried them out until we found our home church, which is where we go to now. And we left there. We went back there. We kind of did a back and forth thing, and it basically was, you know, the first year that we were together was like perfect. We were together about 3, 4, no, we were together longer than that. We were December, January, February, March, April, 4 months. Okay, so we were together 4 months whenever I found out that I was pregnant with our daughter Kaylin, and I was actually super excited whenever we found out we were pregnant. He drank a bottle of wine. I mean, he was excited, but, you know, he was, how old was he? He was 19 whenever we found out I was pregnant. I was 18. So he was a little, you know, not ready for this. Then I got scared because I, you know, lost a baby. didn't know what was going to happen, if, you know, I was going to lose this baby. It was a terrifying pregnancy. The whole thing, I didn't know what was going to happen. And Kaylin is fine. Kaylin is here. Kaylin was perfect. She was born perfect. And to this day, she, you know, beautiful 5-year-old, spunky, super spirited. And she's, you know, my first rainbow baby. And she's an amazing child. And she has such a heart for people who have lost babies too, because of everything we've been through over the last, you know, 6 years. I mean, no, well, 2011, yes, 7 years now. But she's been there, you know, for all the other losses, the 4 losses that I had with her dad. And so, I mean, this child, she's an incredible child, and we got blessed with her. And after her, I thought maybe I just lost my first baby because I was young. Maybe my body just wasn't ready. The doctor had said that because the guy I had been with had so many health issues, that might be why I lost the baby. So I was thinking, okay, I'm good. I'm in the clear. This will never happen to me again. So, little did I know, I was wrong. What ended up happening was Paisley, which is going to be the next story. The next video that I make is going to be about our daughter Paisley and what happened right before I lost her, what happened when I lost her, and what happened after I lost her. And again, this is going to be an emotional thing. It's, you know, the first story isn't as hard for me, I think, because one, a lot of people say that time doesn't heal everything. It doesn't heal everything, but the more time that you have, the more you grow through things and you learn to live with them better. Another thing is I've had 5 losses. I've kind of learned how to handle each type of loss, and now we have this ministry called Glory Baby Ministry, and we are able to help other parents through what they've been through because of what we've been through. And it honestly has helped me heal a lot through everything. And my goal with making these videos, my goal with having this ministry, is that my children's lives can somehow help or inspire somebody else who's going through something similar, or my story can help in some way. I don't know how it will, but I want my story to help people. I want people to be able to heal through their grief. And I know there's no such thing as ever getting over the loss of a child, because I miss all 5. I wish I had them here. I so would prefer them to be here. I love that they're in heaven. I love that they're with God. But of course, that selfish nature in me, I'd rather have my children here. I don't care. Like, it's, you know, I want them now. I don't want to wait to see them. But they're in the best place they could be. They're, you know, in heaven. And honestly, they're here too, because this ministry they're living on. And I am so excited to see where this goes. I'm so ready to help other people, and I hope that I inspire so many different parents, and that anyone who's going through a loss is inspired by these videos, and anybody feels free to reach out to me and pray with me and talk with me, because I'm willing to talk to anybody or give any advice that anyone might need.